Hello queens, angels, and goddesses. Welcome back to my channel. Warning: this contains boy love, and if you don't like it then please get off my channel. Water pistol, grinning face with cowboy hat. The first day of Christmas, Omi's true love gave to him. Kyumi woke to Christmas morning to a still warm bed. He yawned, stretching himself before trying to cover the blanket over himself more to stop the sun from hitting his face when he heard a little whine coming from the living room. The raven scowls, wondering what the hell was Atsumu doing so early in the morning when he heard it again, this time the whine sounding so sad that it nearly broke his heart. Slowly, he dragged himself out of bed, shivering in the cold before making his way into the bedroom. Their Christmas tree was all lighted up in their splendor with heaps of presents underneath it ready to be opened once Atsumu, wherever he was, made his appearance. Right in the middle of the tree was a very large box that seemed to be wiggling and moving. Another little whine came from inside, Kyumi moving to open the lid to be met with an adorable ball of fluff. The little puppy yipped as it gave his fingers a lick, its face so precious and cute it melted Kyumi's heart on the spot. He brought the puppy out of the box, the little creature licking him all over as he pressed it against his chest, feeling the warmth seep into him. Holy shit, it was so warm and fluffy. Omi-kun, Mary, whoa. Why are you crying? Atsumu yelped as he appeared from the kitchen door. Kyumi couldn't help but reach over to hug his boyfriend, giving him a hug that nearly squished him and the puppy who got stuck between them before smiling. She's perfect. On the second day of Christmas, Omi's true love gave to him. He was never, ever going to go to Disneyland in winter ever again. Sure, it meant fewer people on the rides and that they got to ride everything faster, but if there was anything he hated more than the cold, it was getting his ass freezed. The moment he sat on the roller coaster or any of the rides, he could feel his butt getting so cold that he had to waddle off once the ride was over. Atsumu, being the idiot he was immune to the cold, unlike a certain raven who spent most of his time hobbling around trying to warm up his butt. After getting their asses freezed, getting doused by freezing cold water on the log ride, the two finally found themselves making their way through the park to see the evening parade. Even as Kyumi shivered in the cold, Atsumu reached out to wrap an arm around him, drawing the raven close to him. His hand never left his side as a mirage of lights assaulted their eyes, the two lovers staying close to each other as they reveled in the magic of Disneyland. On the third day of Christmas, Omi's true love gave to him. Atsumu, you don't have to. Oh no, we have to. I made this reservation months ago and I am not about to let a stupid traffic jam block us on this. We've been stuck in the same spot for the past 2 hours, almost 3 even. I don't want us to be stuck here and having you so stressed out when we're on holiday. Omi, I'm trying to make this the best Christmas for you. I haven't spent Christmas with you like this in ages and I just don't want to mess up. Atsumu's shoulders shook as the blonde tried not to cry. They had a lot of bumps along the way of their relationship, breaking up sometime before Christmas just last year after being together for years, and now that they finally got back together, he was not about to screw things up because of a traffic jam. He had booked this 3-star Michelin restaurant about a year ago, well, right after they got back together, since he had a foolproof plan on how to make Kyumi the happiest man alive. Kyumi curled his fingers around Atsumu's hand before pressing a kiss on those white knuckles. He dragged his lips over them, savoring the taste of Atsumu's body wash and cologne before bringing it to his cheek. We don't need a 3-star Michelin restaurant today, Atsumu. I'm okay with anything, as long as I am with you. Considering it took them yet another hour to get their asses moving on the road, let's just say the two lovebirds managed to make full use of their time in the car afterwards. They ended up getting 3 bowls of ramen in a noodle bar nearby, and they had to admit, screw 3-star Michelin restaurants and banzai to Japanese food. On the 4th day of Christmas, Omi's true love gave to him. Now this, oh that's so good, damn it, is the life, Atsumu moans, the man not doing anything to hide his obscene moans as Kyumi tried to tune him out. As much as he loved to hear his lover's voice, he would very much prefer him to not moan and groan like he would in private in a damn massage parlor. The two men had been checked in for a 4-hour massage, meaty PD session in one of the best hotels in the country. Atsumu knew Kayumi loved to be pampered and he didn't waste any expense in checking themselves in for a time of relaxation and fun. Kayumi was already in heaven having himself getting massaged, not like he didn't enjoy Atsumu's massages, but no one could argue with the pros. Once the two of them were left alone to relax on some hot stones, cucumbers on their eyes, Kayumi let himself take a long-awaited sigh. Liking it, Omi-kun? Atsumu grins from the side. Omi gave a satisfied nod before letting his body take its time to calm down and enjoy itself. The two ended up sleeping and having to be shooed out for the next customer. On the 5th day of Christmas, Omi's true love gave to him. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Well, it's not yet New Year's, but I'm so glad you boys could make it. Mrs. Miya smiles as she pours the alcohol for all of them. Her husband was already tipsy to the point of no return, the matriarch of the family giggling through the rim of his glass as he hiccups. Tsumu, when are you going to get hitched? Give me some grandkids, will ya? Pops. Ask Samu and Sunarin to do that. They're the ones that have been married all this while. Atsumu whined as Osamu chucked a cushion in his face. We're getting ready, alright. Suna, no. Miirin gave a bemused look as the twins began to tear at each other's throats, Kayumi leaning against the wall sipping his beer in amusement as his lover's twin decked Atsumu in the face. The older Mias weren't helping either. Their parents were chanting fight fight fight, with Miirin filming the entire exchange to be put up on TikTok later. Sometimes Kayumi doesn't understand how Osamu managed to find a man like that. Post that online and I will kill ya, Miirin. Atsumu yelled as Rin merely smiled. Heck no. Ah, haven't these boys grown up so fast? I remembered when they were young and Osamu was always talking about Rin and just wanted to ravish him. Ma. Don't go telling him that. She told me all about it already, Samu. Rin. Why the hell did I even marry ya? Atsumu and Kayumi ended up in the spare guest room that night since they didn't want to hear Osamu and Rin's antics the entire night. Hey, Kayumi. Do you want kids? Atsumu asked, his fingers laced with his in the dark. Kayumi smiles before pulling Atsumu in for a kiss, his lips soft against his before grinning. We already have Peanut to look after. I think we're good for now. On the 6th day of Christmas, Omi's true love gave to him. It was New Year's. Kayumi thought that they might head out into town and look at the fireworks and watch the world shift into a different year. But he didn't mind this, sitting in their living room and watching the city light up from afar, Peanut curled up asleep in his lap and Atsumu sipping some wine on his other side. 6 years since we've been dancing around each other, eh? Atsumu chuckles as Kayumi ran his fingers through Atsumu's hair. Their relationship began with two teens fighting each other on the court in high school before changing to that of rivals in their final year. Once they went on to the V-League and landed in the same thing, things began to shift from being frenemies to friends, and to the shock and horror of many others, lovers. Not like they cared, SakuAtsu ruled the world. I don't care if it takes many lifetimes. As long as we're together, I'm happy, Atsumu smiles. He reaches into his pocket to yank out 6 pieces of paper, grinning as Kayumi raised an eyebrow. To be super nice to you, I'm giving you 6 coupons just for you. You can order me to do whatever you want with these. Let's just say Kayumi ended up using them all very well on that single night. As they lay spent in bed, the world light up around them as fireworks exploded into the Osaka skyline. Kayumi pressed a kiss to Atsumu's forehead, the blonde grinning as he pulled himself on top of Kayumi to give him a kiss on the lips. Happy New Year, Omi. On the 7th day of Christmas, Omi's true love gave to him. Despite the two of them sleeping in very late and being too spent to even budge an inch, Kayumi found himself getting dragged out of bed a few hours later and being brought to the countryside to catch the sunrise. Atsumu had been begging him to catch the sunrise with him for ages, and Kayumi finally relented even as he was yawning constantly on their way. By the time they reached the top of the tiny hill, the sun had finally started to begin to rise in the horizon, painting their world gold and yellow. Even through his tired eyelids, Kayumi couldn't help but smile at how blessed he was to spend the new year watching the sun rise for the first time that year with the one he loved. Atsumu cuddled next to him, shifting in the large throw blanket he had brought with him, knowing how easily Kyumi could get as the sun rose in the east. They ended up spending 7 hours in total watching the sun rise and enjoying a picnic that Atsumu had brought, courtesy of Miya Osamu, who said the guy couldn't cook at all in the morning and needed to make sure his future brother-in-law didn't starve on their first date of the year. On the 8th day of Christmas, Omi's true love gave to him. Tada! Atsumu grinned as he brought in his purchase. The blonde had been gone for the hour, leaving Kyumi to stay at home and shower Peanut with some love and affection until Atsumu kicked the door open. The smell of food wafted through the air, Kyumi's mouth already watering as Peanut turned to rush to her other master. There, that's a good girl. Let daddy put down the food and I can give you all the hugs and kisses in the world. Can you do that, baby girl? Atsumu cooed as Kyumi rolled his eyes. Peanut gave a yip, Atsumu grinning before giving her a pat and setting out the food on their coffee table. Kyumi raised an eyebrow as he watched Atsumu put the food out, ranging from sushi to KFC to umeboshi. In short, all of Kyumi's 8 favorite food on one table. Atsumu. Yes, Omi dear. Can we even finish it? Atsumu grins as he tosses Kyumi a pair of chopsticks, his smile growing wide as he pulls the chopsticks apart. Wanna find out? The two ended up finishing all 8 dishes. Don't ever underestimate professional athletes' capacity to eat. On the 9th day of Christmas, Omi's true love gave to him. I swear I still don't understand this ending. I know that he is beyond redemption, but it freaking hurts to see your damn ship sinking like the goddamn Titanic after shipping them for 4 years. Atsumu whines as they finally saw the end credits scene for Rise of Skywalker rolling on the TV. Kyumi was surprised he even managed to sit through all 9 Star Wars films without dying. Well, he had a major headache now considering they had been watching it literally non-stop for the past 24 hours. Kyumi hadn't even watched Star Wars until Atsumu nearly broke up with him for not knowing who Obi-Wan Kenobi is, especially since he had been his first man crush of all time. Even the kiss was shit. Holy shit, who kisses someone who was about to disappear? I call for fanfics to be written. Fanfiction writers, rise. Rise to write something that can improve my damaged soul. Atsumu serenaded until Kyumi sighed, pulling him for a kiss to shut him up. Even if Riolo has sunk, at least we haven't sunk. Are you trying to make a bad ship joke, cause that is actually working, Omi? On the 10th day of Christmas, Omi's true love gave to him. He should have known that Atsumu would be the death of him someday via shopping. Kyumi hated shopping, hated the crowded places and especially the fact he had to spend money. He hated having to step out in the cold and deal with window shopping and looking for stuff that he won't even buy. But then again, if it was with Atsumu, he didn't mind doing anything at all. Atsumu dragged him across the shopping district into every shop they could enter, pulling out coats that he wouldn't even wear and just trying them on for kicks. He even went to the very same underwear store he had been modeling for and bought the same pair of underwear he had modeled in a few months earlier. That magazine spread had been the death of Kyumi and countless other fans, but he felt blessed to have the real thing to salivate to anyways. In between, Atsumu would make it up to him by buying him drinks and dragging him into cute little cafes. As the day went on, Atsumu brought him to all the small hangout spots and hauntings Osaka had to offer. Heck, they even went to a butler cafe, which turned out to be the most embarrassing for them when they found out it was a yaoi cafe to boot and they could request the guys to do anything. But of course, the moment the staff recognized them as the hottest V-League player couple, they ended up reenacting moments that may or may not have led to the SakuAtsu fandom online going mad with new doujinshi ideas. Sorry Omi. I didn't think that people would recognize us. Your face is plastered on most of the major brands in the city, Atsumu. Not to mention that underwear advertisement of yours made it even worse, Kyumi groans. After 10 hours of being out and about, they finally reached home. Kyumi picked up Peanut in his arms, trying to gain as much warmth from the tiny furball when Atsumu leaned into his ear and purred, "Oya, did you enjoy looking at me that much?" Kyumi didn't let Atsumu sleep that night until his voice was hoarse from screaming and crying out his name. On the 11th day of Christmas, Omi's true love gave to him. I can't move, Atsumu groans as Kyumi grunts, me too. The two of them had gone at it the entire night and were too sore to even pull themselves apart. Peanut was sitting on the floor, wondering what was going on with her two masters as the two men groaned in unison. We need to feed Peanut. I will go get, ouch. Atsumu nearly slammed onto the floor trying to get up, opting to remain where he was. Kyumi tried to move as well, Peanut's eyes begging for him to pick her up, but the raven could barely even lift his legs. Next time, we need to limit ourselves. And you're the one who said that you could do it all night. Come on, you seemed ready for it, Omi. They ended up spending the rest of the day, 11 hours to be exact, trying to get their bodies back in working order before deciding they could go at it again at full force. On the 12th day of Christmas, Omi's true love gave to him. Hey, how has everyone's holidays been? Bakuto grinned as he hugged his teammates. Kyumi winced at the contact from both the brute force of his grip and their night activities for the past 2 days, Atsumu trying his best not to whine when Akashi finally swooped in. Bakuto-san, try not to murder your teammates. Akashi. I haven't seen them in ages. It's only been 2 weeks. But it still feels like forever. Akashi gives Bakuto a kiss to shut him up before growling, so you wouldn't have wanted to spend the past 12 days with me then? What? No. Keiji babe, don't leave me. Bakuto whined. Why did we even become friends with these idiots? Atsumu groans as he looks as the small party assembled. Atsumu had decided to have a nice dinner party in a hotel with 12 of their closest friends that night with their significant others. First up on the list was Bakuto and Akashi, the hottest power couple to grace the court. Atsumu likes to say that he and Kyumi were the best couple in the league even if they didn't go public until a while ago. Second was of course, Osamu and Rintaro. Atsumu, being the good brother he was, invited his demon of a twin and his asshole of a husband. Next up was Hinata, who was currently bickering with his boyfriend Kageyama about who could eat the horse devers the fastest while the rest of the Inarizuki gang mingling in the corner. Kita was speaking to Aaron, the former captain now tanned from working in the fields. Akaji, bless the guy who managed to grow a smidge taller since their high school days, was laughing at something that Jinjima said with Omimi. And of course, who could forget Komori Motoya, Kyumi's amazing cousin, who was one of the first people to literally knock some sense into their heads that they had the hots for each other. Once the wine had begun to flow, all members of the party were in various states of drunkenness. Omimi and Jinjima were trying to sing the American national anthem while Komori and Akaji were trying to receive several spikes from a ball that Kageyama somehow managed to sneak in. Bakuto and Akashi were busy kissing in the corner of the room while Kita and Aaron looked ready to facepalm themselves. All in all, great party. Omi, come here, Atsumu whispered as he tugged Kyumi to the balcony. They were on the highest floor of the hotel that gave them a spectacular night view of Osaka. Normally Kyumi was very afraid of heights, his legs often turning into jelly if he so much looked down. The January air was harsh against his skin, making him freeze up when Atsumu took his hand. Omi, I've known you for nearly 10 years now. It took us 4 years to get together and 6 years of staying together. I know I made mistakes, a lot of them that I can never take back, but I want to let you know. Meeting you, loving you, having my heart broken by you, it was all worth it. He gets down on one knee as Kyumi pressed a hand to his mouth, his eyes watering as Atsumu smiles. If you're willing to be with this scrub forever, will you marry me, my prickly sea urchin, Kyumi? Do it, damn it. Kyumi, be a man and kiss him. Komori yelled from inside as Kyumi shouted, shut up, Motoya. He pulls Atsumu up and kissed him hard, Atsumu melting into him as he breathlessly whispered, yes. I will marry you, you stupid fox. Kyumi feels a band being pressed around his ring finger, the metal cool as it slides onto his skin. The wing spiker tries not to sob as he was enveloped in another hug, their friends cheering from inside. Hey, congratulations you two. Bakuto yelled as Akashi clapped. Atsumu-san. Who's going to be your ring boy? Can I be your ring boy? Hinata yelps as Kageyama bonks him on the head. Just because you're short doesn't mean you can be a ring boy. Shut it, Bakayama. Finally, you stupid scrub. I was wondering when you're going to finally propose to him. Osamu sobbed as Rin raised his hand. All right people, who owes me money? I told you all this was going to happen in 10 years. Damn you, Rin. It's not fair the in-laws can make a bet. Akaji shouted as he transfers the money into Rin's account. The fox smirks as majority of the people began to do the same, Osamu included as Atsumu looks scandalized. You guys were betting on when I was going to propose. The whole V-League has been doing so. Been a thing for years, Aaron laughed as he holds up his phone. The man was about to get very rich tonight, thank goodness he had listened to Rin's advice. Congratulations you two, Kita smiles as he walks up to them to give them some hugs. Atsumu sobs into his senpai, happy that he was there to support him when Hinata shouts, wait, look. The sound of fireworks exploding filled the air as the party turned to look at the display. Kyumi nearly tears up again when he sees the words marry me, Omi, filling up the sky in the same unripe banana yellow he used to favor in his Itachi days. At Ag 27, Kyumi was glad to be engaged to one of the dumbest but most loving setters known to mankind. Warning, this fanfiction does not belong to me, neither does the fan art. Credits to the original artist and author to the fan art and the fanfiction. Haikyuu does not belong to me either. Well, bye children, smiling face with hearts.